2025 Mazda CX-70 is a brand new model that joins the lineup for this model year. I've already done the Turbo S with the inline six-cylinder engine. Now this is different. This one has a plug on both sides, so it's a plug-in hybrid vehicle. And today, thanks to Mazda of Port Charlotte, Florida, I'm going to take you on a complete tour of this vehicle. We're going to check it out as far as the design, of course, the drivetrain technology and the test drive. So if you like videos like this, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel, hit that like and subscribe button. And now let's get back to this. So where does it fit in the lineup as far as Mazda? Well, it is alongside the CX-90, and I guess people have a choice whether they want a 3-row or a 2-row SUV, because there's about the only differences between the two. And I know a lot of people have their own opinions, including myself, and I'm going to give you mine at the end of this video. But before we get there, let's take a look at the design of this brand new vehicle. First of all, I love how sporty, stylish, and elegant it is. The Rhodium White Pro Metallic, it looks absolutely fantastic. It is a premium color, so you have to spend a little bit extra for it. The front end looks just like the CX-90. We have all LED headlamps. We have the LED daytime running lights and turn signals. The grille is in piano black, nice and big Mazda logo, allowing a lot of air to get inside of it, help with cooling of this engine. We also have the air curtains on the side, again, for better aerodynamics. Bottom of it is finished in this polished aluminum trim, of course, and then we have more space for the air to get inside of this engine compartment, kind of keep it down to for the sportier side. Now, the big difference between this one and the inline six that I've done before is, of course, what's underneath the hood. Let's see what it is. So here it is. Underneath the hood, we'll find a 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine, coupled with a 68 kilowatt electric motor. Total horsepower output, if you use premium gasoline, we have 323 and 369 pound-feet of torque. Now let's see. This opens up, and this is what the engine looks like. So you can see there's plenty of space because it can also house that inline six-cylinder engine, of course, which is much longer. Now, all of them are all-wheel drive, and let's talk about the gas mileage. If you talk about the gasoline engine only, you have about 25 miles per gallon combined. If you add to it the 26 miles electric range, we're going to go to 56 miles per gallon equivalent. It has made it to an 8-speed automatic transmission. We have hood struts on both sides. We have some sound insulation. I'm really excited to take it for a spin at the end of this video. Here on the side, it looks a little bit different than what we're used to in this segment. It's not as square as some of the other vehicles. Definitely more sporty, more rounder. If you like that type of stuff, well, this is a perfect vehicle for you. Some people prefer it square. Now, as far as the length of it, it's 200.8 inches in length, almost 85 inches, 84.9. That's width. That's a total width mirror to mirror, end of the mirror to end of the mirror. 68.7 is the height of this vehicle, so slightly lower than we've seen in the segment, but overall a good-looking vehicle. As far as the wheel and tire, even on this base trim, because premium is a base trim on the plug-in hybrid, 21-inch rims, 275 by 45 is the tire size. Falcon is the brand that Mazda went with, and it's a multi-spoke rim design, a little bit of piano black and a little bit of polished aluminum. Of course, all wheel disc brakes are standard on all of the models. We have the matte black cladding continues around the wheel wells and at the bottom of this vehicle, but everything up on top. Starting with this trim over here, which says PHEV plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, is piano black. That includes the mirrors with the turn signal, blind spot assist, surroundings of the windows. We have the low-profile roof rails, and then we have the door handles in this piano black as well. Now, we have two ways of fueling up this vehicle. One of them is the regular gasoline. This is on your driver's side. On the other side, we have a plug. They can plug it into a regular electrical outlet at home, and in about 6.5 hours, you're going to have it fully charged. Unless you have the 240 outlet, then it's going to charge in about 2 hours or so. That allows you to go 26 miles on all electric driving range. So if you're working close to home, you might never have to use the gasoline. Now, I still would use it once in a while, just make sure it doesn't get stale. Now, let's move around to the back and see what's going on there. And that sporty design, that sporty feel continues in the back of this vehicle. So we have this gate spoiler with the third brake light, exposed wiper, brand new taillights, of course. This is all LED, positioned nice and high for better visibility. They're nice and bright. We have the reverse light turn signals and, of course, the regular taillights in here. Big Mazda logo, rear view camera, CX-70 all-wheel drive on one side. We don't have any visible exhaust. We have a slight diffuser right here at the back for better aerodynamics of this vehicle, reflector lights. And if you wanted to tow something, yes, you can still tow with this plug-in hybrid, about 3,500 pounds towing capacity. It sits fairly high off the ground. 8 inches is the ground clearance on this vehicle. Let's see as far as the roominess. Let's see what we have. Of course, the power gate on the Premium and the Premium Plus models opens nice and tall. See if I can fit underneath here. Oh, touching my hair, but I'm still fitting in here. Pretty sure it can be, yeah, I can make it go even higher. So let's see what we have. And before we look inside, up top of the gate, we have the lock and close button. And behind the second row seat, because there's no third row in this one, 39.6 inches of roominess. Now, some people say, well, it's got more room than the CX-90. No, it's actually exactly the same. And it weighs about 55 pounds less. So that's the only difference in here. Now, they also left, and some people commented on my other video that these are not cup holders. And I have to stay corrected. These are not cup holders, but, you know, they use the same mold, basically. Just they don't divide it into cup holders. These are some nooks that you can put, I don't really know what, inside of them. And on both sides, you have the same thing. On one side, you have the 120 watts, 12-volt power outlet. On the other side, you have the 1,500-watt, 120-volt outlet. And both seats can be folded down if you need more roominess. That almost extends to almost 100 cubic feet, which is, you know, huge in this class, but that's both on this and the CX-90. Underneath this cover right here, we'll find the tools to remove the wheel. And yes, in case you were wondering, you have a spare tire that's located underneath. So even with this plug-in hybrid, which a lot of hybrids, they don't give you that spare tire, Mazda still does. That's what we have in the back. Oh, one other thing. This is probably the best angle to show you this. We have this huge panoramic sunroof. I'm going to open it up once in the front, but let's check out what's going on in the rear passenger area. And before I get in, I want to point out something. Look how wide this door opens, allowing you to have all this room to get in or throw some stuff inside of here if you're carrying some cargo in here. I'm almost 6 feet tall, 5'11", and here's what I have. Not touching the back of the seat, which is adjusted to my regular driving position. Can I recline a little bit here? Let's see. Yeah, I can recline, making myself more comfortable. And yes, I have plenty of headroom, even with this panoramic sunroof. The seats are nice. They're comfortable. I have plenty of shoulder room as well. No complaints here whatsoever. Let's see what's going on at the rest of this interior. Starting with this rear door panel here, we have this manual sunshade. This is a huge plus in my book, and this is all nice and soft materials. We have some leather, we have some simulated wood trim, polished aluminum trim. This is all soft, so big plus for Mazda for making it feel premium, look premium as well. We have some contrast stitching. Of course, we have the lock and the window control. More storage at the bottom of the door, and check this out. The seats are real leather. This is not man-made leather. Now, if you go for Premium Plus, you're going to have Napa leather, which is a softer grade, a better grade of leather. We have perforated in the middle with this black stripe right here, and the solid on and the sides. Of course, we have the armrest that opens up. You have the cup holders. Both seats, driver and passenger, have some seat back storage. We also have different climate control. So this is the third zone climate control for the rear passengers. And, you know, we have two USB Type-C ports, your own vents. Quite a bit bump, though, in the middle here. So that might obstruct the third person a little bit, their comfort. And here's that panoramic sunroof again. And of course, before we get in, let's listen to the sound of the closing door. Nice. It's not the best, not the worst. Front door panel, same thing as in the back. We have the simulated wood grain, polished aluminum trim. We have the window mirror lock controls. Two speakers right here, Bose. This is a branded stereo, so we have the Bose who's making the stereo. Then we have a little bit more storage underneath. And then we have power adjustments for both driver and passenger seats. Same kind of setup as in the back. It's not very bolstered, so it's not very supportive, but should be nice and comfortable. And on the left-hand side of the steering wheel, you have a bunch of buttons. Open the gate. We have 2 memory seat settings. Down here, you have your safety buttons. You can turn off your parking sensor, traction control, or you can open your fuel door right there as well. Now, the steering wheel, tilt and telescoping, it's a manual adjustment. Let me show you the rest of this interior. And here's the interior of this 2025 CX-70 plug-in hybrid. The first thing I want to say that it feels a lot more premium than on the competitors, and including this dashboard, nice and soft touch materials. You have nice framing with this polished aluminum trim, big vents on each side, and in the middle here, big screen, 12.3-inch screen. We have a smaller, sportier steering wheel here, but it is thicker in the right places. It has some contrast stitching right here at the bottom, Mazda logo, and a bunch of buttons on each side. So we have the source for the radio, volume here. You have the phone pickup, hang up info button on the right hand side. You have the cancel set. Of course, these are your cruise control, adaptive cruise control settings, your lane keep assist and main cruise control button. In the back, you have your region buttons. These are not pedal shifters. These are your region buttons, and we have the fully digital instrument cluster. Pretty easy as far as the look of it. In the middle, you have the speedometer. On the left hand side, you have the hybrid charge power. Now we're in the EV mode. I'm actually going to turn on that engine to charge up that battery a little bit. We have 0.7 mile per kilowatt hour, or 20.5 miles per gallon. That's what it says on the right hand side. That's where you also can see your fuel gauge and the temperature gauge. The bottom, 93 degrees. I think it's understating it right now, but let's see what we have as far as the info here on the left hand side, on the right hand side, I should say. You see eye active, sense active. You can put your compass in here, turn it off. You have some info, temperature, and then back to the compass. So this is all the customization that you can do. I kind of wish there was a little bit more, especially looking at the price range of this vehicle. Now, let's see what's going on in the instrument cluster. All right, so it's a reflective surface, and we have the sticker. I don't want to really take it off. I'll let the new owner do that, but let's see what's going on. First of all, this is not touchscreen, but we've already covered that. Then there's this trackpad that I'm going to show you how that works, and we have infotainment information. So press this button, drive efficiency monitor. All right, so right now, fuel efficiency history. Obviously, this vehicle has 17 miles on it, and that's been at the dealership most of the time. So I take it that's been idling a lot. And let's see what else is going on. So we go to the high voltage battery monitor. So right now it's at 17%. Total range, we have 380 EV range on the 4 miles, but we're charging right now, so that should go up. So we can check it out at the end of this video. Charging schedule is off, and estimated AC charge time remaining 1 hour and 50. That's with a 240 outlet, of course. Now, vehicle status monitor is another option that we have here. Next service, engine oil levels, maintenance details, vehicle maintenance settings. Then we go back to the communication. Now we have wireless Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, okay, because you can see on the right hand side. You go to navigation. This vehicle is navigation ready, but it doesn't come with one. So it says that, hey, you need an SD card if you want the navigation, or of course you can use the Apple CarPlay Android Auto, but it gives you the latitude, longitude, and altitude, and it gives you the direction where you're going. So if that's enough for you, you can just skip that. And then we go to settings, and here it is: EV settings, in-vehicle display, sound settings, safety, vehicle settings, connectivity settings. Here's one thing, the EV settings, because that's different than on the other ones. We have the charging schedule, charge limit for AC charging. It is at 100%. Most of the manufacturers recommended to set it up at about 80 or 90%. Here's a couple of reasons for it. Well, maybe you're not going to get the full driving range with this, but you got to remember that this vehicle is charging also with the combustion engine. So if it's charged at 100%, where's that charge going to go? So, I mean, we need a little bit. So if you don't want to do it at 80, do it at 90. And this vehicle will charge up as you drive it. Now, of course, unless you drive it in the EV mode, exclusively. So that's not the case. Charge connector lock, regenerative braking level. You can set it up to normal or high. We're going to leave it at normal. High, sometimes it's too aggressive. EV priority mode, that's off right now. And driving charge target, same thing. If you're driving, you can charge it up to 100%, or, different levels. here as well. Now in-vehicle displays, so we have the settings for the instrument cluster and for an instrument cluster display and the center display. So we can increase the text size if you're like me and having some problems seeing things, especially at night. Yeah, those would be nice things. So let's see how that works. All right, so right now, this is the standard one, and we're going to increase it. Yeah, I can see it a little bit better. All right, always show eye active sense display, and you can set it up like this, or we can go and restore it to the factory settings and goes back to basically what it was before. I'm just going to leave it like this. Go back to the main menu, and here's another thing that we have here is, of course, your entertainment, which, you know, several different sources are available. So we have the source list: AM, FM, Sirius XM, Bluetooth, and of course you can play through your USB audio as well. So this is your instrument cluster. Put it in reverse. Let's see what's going on once we do that. And yeah, a little disappointing that it doesn't take the entire screen, but the quality is good. We have the active trajectory lines. No, we don't. I wonder if there's a setting for that. But right now, as I move the steering wheel, that trajectory line stay still. So hopefully there's a setting for it, but by default, it's not there. Get it out of the reverse, put it in park. Let's go back to the main menu. And this is pretty much it. This is what we have on this display. You have the hazard lights, power button, vents, and down here is where you control your climate control. As you can see, comes standard with the heated seats, and everything else is your shortcuts for the right side, the left side. And here's your wireless charging pad. You have 12-volt power outlet, regular style shifter, which some people like, some people don't. We are charging right now. This is basically the button to charge the battery, so it's going to charge it up with the engine. Hill descent control, and here's where you control that infotainment system. So you have the shortcut buttons for the audio, navigation, back, and home. So in case you get lost, you can do that and then simply, you know, dial it to the position that you want it and push it to select it, kind of like your computer mouse. Electronic parking brake, auto hold for your parking brake, and then, or for your regular brakes, I'm sorry. Here's your volume control, seek track, and power for your audio. Here's your favorite buttons. Open up this middle console, and we have a bit more as far as the two USB Type-C ports. Pretty shallow though, so not much room can be had in there. And then of course the cup holders. Going up here, we have home link system. We have all LED lights, sunglasses holder. I'm opening up this panoramic sunroof. Is that it? This is it. Not a whole lot as far as the sunroof opening here. It's wide, but it's not very deep. All right, but it's enough to let you in some air, some light inside of this vehicle. Overall, it feels very premium. It looks very premium. Kind of wish it had maybe a little bit more functionality to it as far as the customization of both the infotainment and instrument cluster. But this is how it looks. Let's talk about pricing and see how it drives. So if you're looking at the CX-70, the non-plug-in hybrids, the inline six-cylinder model starts at just over $40,000. But the plug-in hybrids, that's a completely different story. The premium model, that's this one right here, which is the base for plug-in hybrids, starts at $54,400, and the premium plus starts at $57,400. So big difference. Now, of course, you get the better gas mileage, you get almost the same horsepower on it. You might qualify for some tax credits. I'm not even sure if it does or not, because this might not be assembled in the United States. I have to look at the sticker, but there's certainly advantages as far as the gas mileage on it, especially if you're going to utilize the all-electric driving range, which, by the way, let's see if we can switch it. Oh, yes, and we have the driving mode. So we have the sport, normal, EV, and off-road mode. I don't know in EV, although we don't have a whole lot of power in that battery, but it's going to be enough to go for a mile or so and see how it feels in the electric on the mode. Really nice, really quiet. Now we have the combustion engine that kicked in, we had that boost that definitely you can feel it. I'm going to flip it over to the normal mode right here, and that's a hybrid mode. That's a combination, of course, of the electric and the gasoline engine. And then once we get on the high-speed road, I'm going to flip it over to the sport mode to see if there's any differences. There's also an off-road mode because it's an all-wheel drive. It's a rear-biased all-wheel drive, but it's really nice that Mazda offers that as a standard equipment on all of their CX-70s. So drives nice. It's got a good visibility up front, even through the mirror, although I think that it would be advantageous to have this rear view electronic mirror. It's merging traffic. Again, we're still in the normal mode, right? Not bad. It doesn't feel as powerful as the inline six. It's a different power delivery. It's good enough though. I mean, we're, up to 50 miles per hour right now. And once you cruise it, you don't feel anything, but transmission switch is a little bit different, and they might have, something to do going with the electric and the 2.5 liter. And another thing that I noticed, that it feels heavy. Okay, it feels like that the vehicle weighs a ton, even though most of it is down at the bottom, giving you that better center of gravity moving down here. So for better driving dynamics, supposedly. But we're going to check that out and see if I can get maybe like a 0 to 40, 0 to 50, see if we can get this thing going. And we're in the EV mode right now. It's highlighted here. Again, nice and quiet, so defaults to it if you're not driving it aggressively. I'm going to do a U-turn here. We're going to check this out, how this vehicle turns. All right. That's nice. And as far as the feel of it, okay, we're in the normal mode. Let's flip it to the sport mode, even though no adaptive suspension, but the steering wheel should be a little bit heavier. It's got a little bit of body roll, but not bad at all. And then we're going to check out the acceleration. And you're right here. Let's go. That's in the sport mode. We have that boost going, 55, 7, 8, 60 miles per hour. That's definitely enough. I don't think it's as fast, though, as the inline six, but it's close enough. And, if you like the gas savings, this could be a perfect vehicle for you. But I promised you that I will give you my opinion as far as this vehicle. And I appreciate all the comments, guys, even the negative ones. But keep it civil. We're not here to fight. We're here to have a discussion. If you don't agree with what I have to say, I mean, that's perfectly right. But, I also have the right to have my own opinion about it, right? So as far as this vehicle sits in the lineup, to me personally, I would just pick the CX-90 and fold down the rear seats. Why? Because this one doesn't have any more room. It doesn't have any better gas mileage. It is not any faster. It's not any cheaper than the CX-90. So why not have that extra seat? Now, I believe that extra seat would also help with the resale value when you try to get rid of this vehicle years down the road. Now, if it had more volume, more cargo volume, or if it was faster, it was better on gas mileage, then definitely I could see how this vehicle would be advantageous over having the CX-90 with the third row seat. Otherwise, not really. But to each their own. You might love your CX-70 and you say, hey, I don't need the third row seat, never use it. Go for it. Everybody likes different things, and I'm not here to judge you on that. But guys, thank you very much for watching. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope you liked it. And if you did, don't forget to check out the rest of my channel, hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you in my next video. Cheers.